much. Welcome to my live stream. I want to thank everybody that is here, and I actually changed up things a little bit today. Uh, from one of the comments I received yesterday was that why wasn't I doing this in English? And I feel like it is important for me to do Spanish as well as English. So today I'm gonna focus on the English, on my English subscribers. Um, and it really means a lot to me for everyone that gets connected today and got connected yesterday too, as my first live stream from my mobile. As you guys may know, my name is Belem Alba, and today I want to share something very personal, my journey living with Parry-Romberg Syndrome. As you guys know, I've mentioned a little bit regarding this. I was born with the Parry-Romberg Syndrome. It's a syndrome that affects half of my body, and this syndrome eats away the meat, the flesh, the muscle, and the bone. Um, and in my case, I started noticing this when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. My mom started to notice, and this was because of a picture that they took for kindergarten when I started school. I also want to talk about how bullying shaped my life. That's something that it was pretty hard for me, and how that led me to do to take some difficult paths, some paths that nowadays I would not have taken, knowing what I know now. It took me to depression, alcoholism, and substance abuse. Big disclaimer, I'm not for that. I am actually here to let you know if you are suffering from depression, alcoholism, or substance abuse, there is a way out. If I was able to do it, I've been clean for almost a year, a little bit over a year. I started actually counting because I noticed that it was getting hard for me whenever I used to say that I wasn't going to do it. That in the back of my head, there was this voice that would tell me that I was that I needed it. So I started trying a different way, seeing how it worked for me. And in my case, it started working better once I just did one day at a time. And I think that's actually a slogan for the Double A Society. I'm not part of it, but I know that they like to say that take one day at a time, and that keeps you actually sober. It did help me in the beginning, but as I mentioned, I felt like it was better for me not to count the days that I was sober, and that actually helped me to stay sober. And now I'm sober. I've been sober for more than 2 years. No alcohol, no marijuana abuse, no, not even painkillers. So I'm pretty clean at this moment. And before I begin, I want to be clear. I am not promoting any or condoning any substance abuse of any kind. I am here to raise awareness, to share my truth, and hopefully to connect with others who maybe have felt the same struggles. This is a safe space, so feel free to share your thoughts, your experiences, and chat respectfully. That is something that I'm really wanting you guys to make a community where everyone is able to talk and to express themselves, as well as I will be expressing a lot of what I went through and what has helped me get out of that depression and those abuses. Hey, thanks for the hug. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, definitely. 2 years, it means a lot to me. I was under the influence for more than over 18 years. I started pretty young when I was 18. And it was a struggle to actually recognize that I had an issue with it. That's, I feel like, one of the biggest struggles, to recognize that you actually have a problem. Once you recognize that you have a problem, then you're able to do something about it. And in my case, that turning point happened around 2.5 years ago. I became into a workshop in my city that I had been invited for a couple of years before that. I actually got invited 8 years prior to me going to this place, and I started learning a lot about myself. I started gaining um, a lot of knowledge of the reason why I was doing what I was doing. I was actually suppressing all of my emotions. I didn't want to confront the harsh reality, my reality, which was that I felt lonely, I felt sad, I felt that there was no one there for me. So that's the reason how I ended up in this big depression, and just day to day just working and getting drunk or getting high or both at the same time. And definitely bullying had a big emotional impact in my life. As you guys noticed, I am a little bit different, and this is because I was born with the Parry-Romberg syndrome. As I mentioned, this syndrome affects half of my body, and this syndrome is pretty rare. Actually, there's only 1 out of 700,000 people that actually have been diagnosed, but the numbers are not accurate because there's a lot of people that have not come forward. I was born in Mexico, and over there was not much information about it. I learned about this syndrome once I got here to the United States, here in California. This is where I've been since I was 8, and I feel like it helped me a lot to come to California. I was more accepted social wise, although I still struggle with bullying during my childhood and my youth. I definitely noticed that the society as one actually, I was more accepted. There was a lot of, I was pretty small when I got here. I was probably 8 or 9 years old when I arrived to the US. But prior to that, when I was in Mexico, not to talk BS about Mexico, that Mexico is my country and I love it. But I do notice that there's a lot of stigmatism, or there's a lot of things that happen there that are not accepted. The other thing that happened with us was that I came from a poor family. So the social status was also a difficult thing to deal with in Mexico. So since I didn't have money to go to the hospitals, and the one when I did, it was pretty difficult for us to get to the hospitals. I was from a small town. Those things, just with that alone, we were very bullied and we were talked down to because we did not have the status. And then put on top of that, that I came with a syndrome that nobody understood, or it was pretty weird for people to see. Actually, in my hometown, even people with like even other diseases or things that are like Down syndrome, that was really looked upon, and they did not let the kids go outside if they had something wrong with them. It was that bad in Mexico, at least in the little town that I lived in. How did you get status? How did I get status here? My dad is citizen, and my mom also became citizen afterwards. Um, Thank you, Luis. I appreciate your lovely comments. But yeah, guys, the reason why I want to make this live stream the most important thing for me is to share my story, to share what I went through, the things that got me to that depression. So hopefully youth people could hear this and understand and know that there is a way out. There is something out there for them. That there is hope in humanity, and for people that have struggled with substance abuse, alcohol abuse, and this kind of things, for them to know that there is a way out. It's pretty hot in here. I'm in California, and right now the weather is pretty summer. It came late. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm also trying to see if my live feed is correct, because last time I did a live stream, I actually just did 19 seconds and I was actually in the camera for like an hour and so. So I want to make sure that I'm actually you guys are able to see me. The other thing I want to talk about is the turning to unhealthy coping. When I didn't know how to handle the pain, I turned to alcohol and substance. For me, it felt like a way to numb the sadness, but in reality, it only made me feel more lost, more lonely. It was pretty bad, and the codependency, it just became pretty bad. I'm gonna say around the age of 19 and 20. That's when I started. I started working at 15. So by the age of 20, I was already living by myself. I actually got out of my house at 17. So I feel like When I got out of my house, I felt like I could do, obviously, I was paying my bills. And another thing that took me to that path of drinking a lot and doing substances is that one of my family members once told me, if you're gonna get a habit, a bad habit, make sure you're able to support it. Make sure you're able, don't count on anyone to get you your beer or your cigarettes or whatnot. And I felt like that's stuck with me. I took it to the heart, and obviously not in a good way because since I was working, since I was 15, I was able to pay for all of those things, alcohol. I was very independent since young, so I feel like that's another thing that did not help me. That saying did not help me take a good decision because I felt like since I had the money, hey, why not? I can do it, right? I'm able to do it. I'm not begging anyone to give me anything, so therefore I am able to do it. Another big thing was codependency, not just in alcohol and weed. I also had a big codependency on people. Hi, Gio. Um, I wanted to be part of someone, of a community or a group of people so bad since I was young. I wanted to fit in. And I felt like that also took me to a bad path because I did things that I didn't want to do just to belong. Thank you. Sending blessings to you too, Victor. Not sure if you're the same Victor that was here yesterday with my chat, but I appreciate you guys for being here. So yeah, I didn't feel okay by myself. I thought that if someone accepted me, then maybe I could accept myself. But that only made me feel more trapped. I feel like there's different type in different states of my life. I felt like I needed to fit in until I found myself, and that was around 2.5 years ago. So I felt like there was something for me to do to make sure that people accepted me, and I did not accept myself. So it's funny because once I learned that self acceptance is the key to happiness, I was like, literally, I wasted most of my youth trying to figure that out. And right now, I'm happy to actually be by myself. I'm comfortable seeing myself in the mirror, something that I did not like to do prior to me going through this journey of personal development. I judged myself a lot. I made a lot of comments to myself. I used to tell myself that I was dumb, that I didn't look good in anything, that I looked like a monster. I just used to put myself down a lot, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that might be passing through the same thing. And but once you start seeing yourself for who you are, like not in the outside, but in the inside, the kindness of your heart, your achievements. Something that has helped me a lot is to wake up in the morning and actually look at myself in the mirror and just start saying good things about you, how you want your day to go. For example, I would be like, today's gonna be a beautiful day. I'm strong. I am powerful. I am resilient. I am capable, and this day is gonna be the best day of my life. That has helped me a lot to get out of that depression that I was in and to get my self esteem up. That's something that helped me a lot. So if you guys are struggling with self esteem or getting through the day, I, I, uh, I really recommend you guys put yourself in front of a mirror and just start talking to yourself every morning as soon as you wake up. Drink a glass of water. The other thing that I do advise, or actually that I do, I don't know if you guys want to do it or not, but I might sound crazy, but I talk to my water. So I pour myself a glass of water, and then I start talking to it and telling it how it's gonna nurture me. It's gonna give me the power to go through the day. Just say beautiful things to the water because that's what you're putting in your body. So therefore, once you drink the cup of water, you go and you're standing in front of a mirror and you start telling yourself good things or how you want your day to go. And that has helped me a lot. I have been doing this for almost 2 years and a half, and it you guys are gonna be surprised on how better your day goes when you actually do these affirmations in the morning as soon as you wake up. I i recommend it a lot. Well, I also would like to, as I said, I want this to be a safe space where you guys also share stories about how you guys felt at one point. Okay, yeah. If you guys want to tell me a little bit about your guys' experience and how even share things that have helped you. Maybe I don't know some techniques or some exercises that you guys might be doing that might help me as well. I feel like humanity as a whole, we all have a little bit to share with everyone, and why not be part of becoming a better community, better world with one another. Víctor dice, sí hablo inglés, amiga, pero casi no me gusta escribir. Anoche estuve con usted comentando, le mando muchas bendiciones. Aquí está mi like número 3. Muchas gracias, Víctor Manuel. Está bien, sí, aunque, con que entiendas, todo está bien. Puedes escribir en español, yo también, es mejor para mí porque yo también practico mi español. Mm, y les I'm going back with English and Spanish because I feel like this community, I want to do it in both languages. Um, I actually don't speak either. Like I'm used to speaking Spanglish, so I go back and forth. So I'm sorry if you guys let me know what do you guys think. There was a recommendation yesterday to that they told me that I should do one in Spanish, one in English. I also am thinking of actually separating the channels and do one channel in Spanish and the other one in English. Nice, thank you, Victor. But yeah, I think I just wanted to try out to see how many people get connected at this time. I'm gonna try out different times first before I actually select the time where I wanna connect to do live streams, before I actually set up a time. But yeah, this is what I want to do in this channel, pretty much a community where I'm shaking right now. We've been having a lot of earthquakes around here. There was one here, like probably 20 minutes away from my house in Berkeley, California, 2 days ago at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning. It was pretty bad. And I feel like these days there has been um, a few earthquakes after that, or like movement on the earth. But yeah, as I mentioned, guys, the other thing I do want to share is I do a lot of community work, and the way I do it is I got help through overcome all of these things: alcoholism, substance abuse, depression, and actually becoming part of the community. I was a person that was very isolated all the time, and I did not want to be part of the community. I was also very aggressive, very I had a bad temper. I would explode for anything, and I wouldn't allow my family to come near me. I got really isolated, and it was taking me to a dark path. I seriously couldn't talk to people. I didn't like to see people. I would just either work and then come home and just sleep, be alone, not even with my then husband. Um, it was a pretty depressing time. Now I realize how lonely I felt. Um, but what did help me was the ontological coaching, which is something that I studied last year, and I just graduated on August. And I feel like I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but that's a method that you work with yourself. You go inside yourself. In that mythology, there's a belief that every human being has the capacity of resolving any situation. We all have the answers within us. We just have to sometimes be guided by someone, and the method is by asking questions, powerful questions, so you can see a different perspective of things. You can get conscious of the reason why you've been acting the way you've been acting or doing the things you've been doing. In my case, for example, why was I drinking? what was the reason why I was drinking almost every meal, every day. And the reason was because I did not want to feel alone. I didn't want to feel that the pain that I was feeling, that I did not belong to the society, that I felt like I was a monster. So once I realized and I came conscious about that reason, I didn't want to feel sad, and that's the reason why I just drank myself a lot of bottles of alcohol or beers, a lot of beers. It also didn't help me that my ex-husband used to is he's a brewer, so there was beer at my house all the time. So having it so close by, I always had it in the palm of my hands. So that was pretty easy for me to get drunk. And weed has never been an issue. California weed is legal, so therefore I was able to get it pretty easily. So after it became legal, of course, even prior to that, I was still young, so I would get it from illegal places. Not recommending that. I feel like that's like I said, it was a waste of my time, but at the same time, I feel like if I had not gone through that, I would not be the person that I am today. As I mentioned, I just graduated as an ontological coach, and I help people see these things and come to conscious of why the actions that they're taking or why the habits that they have are not working out for them, and how is it that they're able to change that. As I mentioned, I was very close-minded. Once I noticed that that's the reason why that I was drinking myself away was because I didn't want to feel the pain. I started making changes, and that's when I realized, okay, so if I keep drinking, what's gonna happen? Obviously, I'm gonna get sicker. It's crazy because I smoke so much weed that I don't know if it has something to do with me smoking weed or with the syndrome that I have. But around 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right before COVID, actually it's a little bit more than that, huh? COVID was some time ago. But yeah, right before COVID, a week before COVID, I had minor lung collapse. And it's crazy because when I went to the ER because of that, as soon as I got out of the hospital, as soon as I got out of the ER, I came home, and the first thing I did was smoke 2 joints, which was crazy because I was seriously with the pain. I was in the ER with probably for 8 to 10 hours with oxygen, and when I came home, that's what I did. I was that crazy. I was really trying to, end myself. I unconsciously. It was crazy. Then after that, I'm gonna say like 2 years after the first one, I had a similar episode where I they noticed that my lung had like has they have it has little bubbles between my lung and my chest and my rib cage, and they just spontaneously erupt, and that's what I am. That's the minor lung condition that I have at the moment. And as I mentioned, I don't know if it's because I was smoking too much or because of the syndrome, because there's a lot of things that this syndrome also comes with. The other thing that one of the reasons why I started saying that I started smoking weed was actually because when they told me that this syndrome had me propense to, what's it called? Strokes. I got scared, and I researched, and it said in an article I found that weed would actually help me avoid these strokes. So I got that as like my excuse, my perfect excuse to keep on smoking. But as I mentioned, once I realized that the reason why I was actually doing it was to avoid the pain, avoid the emotions. I said it yesterday in my Spanish live that there was a time, probably around 14 or 15 years old, when I promised myself that I would not cry again. I was really hurt. I feel like that time something happened in my house that I was a rebel girl. Because of the syndrome, I became with a harsh personality. As I mentioned, I was really outspoken, and I was really, you're not gonna tell me anything because, I was very defensive. So whenever my mom used to tell me things, I would not like that. And I also was very independent. I started working at 15, so I used to take care of my bills. So I also, that also helped me think that I did not need my mom, and be a certain way, act a certain way. And since my two sisters, I have two siblings, two sisters, one of them older, one of them younger, but both of them did not. They were pretty calm compared to me. They were pretty calm. My bigger sister is very nurturing, and my smaller sister is very sweet. Yeah, I was not like that. I was the black sheep of the family. So I was really hard on my family overall. My mom, I feel like she had a struggle, with me, and I can only feel the pain that a mother can feel going through what she went through. I noticed that when I was younger, she used to feel like she was the cause of my syndrome, which was not the case. The doctors told her plenty of times that was not the reason why I had this syndrome, but she was always blaming herself for that. So she also had it bad. My whole family in general, I feel like my sisters too, also struggled because my mom had to take me to the hospital, so they would have to do things on their own. um, but yeah, I feel like that's all I'm going to share with you guys today. I will try to do another live in a different time to see. As I mentioned, I want to double check or make sure what works better for everyone. But I do want to open this as a community of sharing, of becoming better, and I hope that as I keep on becoming a better person and finding my purpose, which I feel like I have, but as every human being, I feel like there's always more to it. I'm always, whenever I do something, I'm looking forward to do, what am I gonna do next, kind of thing. So I have already reached the goal that I had for this period, but I do have a goal of reaching 100 subscribers by the end of the month. So I would really appreciate you guys if you guys can go ahead and subscribe or give me a like. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation, this back and forth with all of you. And another thing that I would like to put myself out there, because as I mentioned, I am an ontological coach, and that's something that helped me out a lot with the struggles that I went through, the bullying, the becoming dependent on alcohol, on other substances, on actually being happy. I feel like at this moment in my life, I have gone through situations recently. Like I separated from my husband around 2 months ago, and I was able to deal with it from a different perspective, not seeing myself as a victim, but more of a what am I gonna do with the situation, and how to deal with it from my adult version, not my child version, my inner kid that feels like they have abandoned me or stuff like that. Taking responsibility of the life that I am living right now, and that makes me feel pretty complete. And I feel like that's the reason why I'm able to help people. I have done more than 30 sessions now. Actually, I think more than 50. I'm gonna check later on and double and give you those correct numbers. But I've been certified from a good institution, and I have helped English and Spanish speaking people to not just go through to themselves, search to themselves on what they want to accomplish. This actually helps not just in the depression part, not in the abuse part. It also helps, like, if you're having a conversation regarding work that you're not able to achieve something, or if you want to do a hobby and it doesn't look like you have time. Why aren't you having time to do something that you like doing, or spending time with your family, or spending time getting a better relationship with your husband or your wife, or getting along with coworkers? There's a lot of topics that we can talk about during a coaching session. So I am here also to let you guys know that I do individual one-on-one sessions, and in the future I hope to do a group session. I feel like those are very powerful because since everyone shares, we all get a lot of input. As I have noticed in this path, we are pretty connected. All the humanity is pretty connected. So you would be surprised on how similar our stories actually are. If we really pay attention to one another and we, with empathy, we listen to them, you would be shocked on how much people have struggled. And one of the big things that people are, me included, are looking for is validation, recognition, and acceptance. Those are the three big things, and which I feel like it's almost the same thing. But if we are able to understand why we are looking for validation, recognition, and belonging, I feel like that that helps you get to where you want to go. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm here, to help a community like I got help once 2.5 years ago. And also, I feel like sharing my story helps me get rid of everything that I still have inside, even though I have already talked about it. I feel like every time I talk about it, it gets lighter on me. So that's one of the main reasons also why I want to do it. I want to keep growing in my personal development, and I feel like this is a great way of doing it in community. I wish I had someone to listen to that was going through something similar that I was going through when I was younger. And that's my vision, to make sure that people, young people, know that you're not alone. There's other people like you feeling the same way. In this very moment, where there's a lot of people that are feeling sad, there's a lot of people that are feeling frustrated, incapable, with insecurities. But if you were to know the value that you have, the uniqueness, like literally, we're all unique and we all bring something to the table. Everyone, every single person. It's wonderful how your life and your perspective changes. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with this. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really had a lot of fun. My next one is going to be in Spanish, just because I feel like both communities uh, can be helped with this. And since I know both languages, might as well, right? Put myself to the community's well-being. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Again, my name is Belem Alba, and I'll be here again tomorrow. I will change the time just for now because I want to check which time works better for everyone. But I appreciate everyone that got connected today, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.